we have a ton to go over, as the team has seen significant upgrades since early access. Worldwide release of NHL 26 has come and gone, and with that, I'm going to do a complete update of everything that has gone on during early access, while I have been playing for 7 straight days during my subathon, where I've spent my resources, the cards I'm chasing after, and how exactly I ended up with this team by just essentially playing Cup Chase. So let's start at the top with Teemu Selanne. Teemu Selanne was my pre-order pack selection, and this has been my favorite card since getting the game. When playing online, he has been an absolute menace. The combination of Elite Pressure and All-Star Quick Release is one of the best combos in the game, and when you're able to get the +2 overall boost with his chemistries, Teemu Selanne gets up to 96 speed, and he feels like it. This would be one of the cards that I would immediately chase after when starting the game. It is a slam dunk top-tier card. Now, to help with that chemistry boost, I went with the hero Jeremy Roenick. And Elite Unstoppable has been one of my favorite abilities, simply because it allows you to reverse check like NHL 25. The reverse check has been nerfed quite a bit, but if you have Elite Unstoppable, there's almost no difference. If a player gets even close to you, you essentially just slam him to the ground and you can carry on your way. When you pair him with Teemu Selanne, it's just a fantastic combination, and I really haven't felt any need to move him off of my first line. Now, one of my newest additions to the team was going from Frank Nazar and investing in Marian Hossa, and Marian Hossa has been great in the limited time I've played with him. It essentially is just a more complete card than using the Fresh Iced Frank Nazar. Again, giving myself that +2 boost. There are a lot of options you can go with, but I liked the price point. I got him for 30,000 coins, and I have no complaints there. Now, my second line, a lot happened here. I was able to acquire Joe Thornton in the last episode. 1, because he's one of my favorite players of all time, but 2, he actually has a pretty good face-off rating. His skating is always going to be a disaster, but Elite Big Rig has been pretty impactful. In the prior games, Big Rig has been pretty useless, but with the changes to X Factors this year, if you know how to puck protect, Big Rig is impactful. You can basically get around the defender without being pushed or knocked off the puck and drive right to the net. It's one of my favorite goals to score, and Joe Thornton allows you to do that very easily because he's got 91 balance and he's gigantic. So absolutely love Joe Thornton early on. And on top of that, I was able to get a +1 overall boost by pairing him with a Washington Capital and a Swede. So one of the goals of the series is to make sure I get a Master Set player from every event. The Chell Week came and went. I took a risk because I thought it might be Kadri getting that +1 boost, but it ended up being Tom Wilson, and I was rewarded with a really good card. Again, you get Unstoppable, which I've really enjoyed, and now that I've got that +1 boost, he gets up to 88 speed, 89 excel, great body checking, and he's big. So when you pair him with Joe Thornton, it's just really hard to knock them off the puck because they're so big, but really like Tom Wilson's card so far. And then lastly, the first hero that I made via alumni trade-ins was Marcus Naslund. I think this is one of the safest cards to get because of the multiple different lineup combinations you can use Naslund. More on that in a little bit. But if you can get his +1, he gets up to 88 speed, 87 excel, but his shot is in the 90s essentially with Elite Quick Release. He plays pretty quick, and again, when you pair him with cards that can boost his overall, he's just that much better. Now onto my third line. From the Fresh Ice event, I said that I needed to make a Master Set player item. Because I took Brock Faber as my free card from the pre-order pack, I needed to make a Fresh Ice player, and that was Tyler Seguin. Now, Seguin's card has been really fun. Quick Release is easily one of the best abilities in the game. It is very fun to use, and he's got a good shot, good skating, and you can play him at center if you need to. He also fits into a few lineup combinations because he is Canadian. He doesn't currently on my team, but there are a lot of instances in which you can use him. I am running into the situation where I have to make a decision between him and maybe Jack Eichel, for example. But again, more on that in just a little bit of what I'm going to do with Tyler Seguin. My center for my third line is Sergei Fedorov. Now, Fedorov, even without any lineup combinations, he is one of the best cards in the game. Elite Wheels and All-Star Quick Pick have both been impactful. At 91 speed and excel with 90 agility, he's one of the fastest cards. He's got a great shot and 89 faceoffs. Absolutely no complaints, and I actually don't mind having a line that isn't tied down to certain lineup combinations because it allows me to freely add and change cards as opposed to getting locked in with certain specifics to get lineup combinations activated. My right wing on my third line is the Spotlight Sam Bennett. I was able to complete the moments. If you are struggling to complete the Sam Bennett moments, I do have a video that goes over exactly how I was able to do it. Sparkplug is not as good of an ability as I hoped. The way the game is played, specifically online, you have to be very passive as opposed to aggressive on the forecheck, and I find that you just don't get a big enough of a boost with Sparkplug because there's a lot of times where you can't get a hit off with that specific card for those 3 ability points. I think that it's a good secondary ability to have, but the main focus on a card, I don't think that it's one of the most impactful. Now, he does come with 88 speed and excel, which is great. His shot is okay. His body checking is 89, so a really well-rounded card, especially if you can get him for free via moments. And then potentially the line I'm most proud of is I went with the 8 AP boost Ryan Reeves, Frederick Gaudreau, and Evander Kane. So how I was able to get this activated is I took a Shark, a Canuck, and a Kraken, plus the 3 Canadians across the board, getting myself 8 AP, which was necessary because after adding all of these high-end cards, you need to have ability points to actually be able to activate their abilities. Now, these cards aren't really impactful, to be honest with you, individually. Ryan Reeves has 86 speed, but 81 excel. His shot is pretty brutal. His deking is awful. His body checking's nice, and Big Rig you're not going to activate on him, but still, I needed a right-hand forward Shark Canadian. Frederick Gaudreau from the Seattle Kraken. Again, skating is not all that great at 84 speed and excel with 77 balance, but he has 89 face-offs. So I just needed someone that could win me the draw, and he has one of the highest face-off ratings in the game, so that was an easy selection. And then for my Vancouver Canuck, I went with Evander Kane, which is hilarious that he is now paired with Ryan Reeves on my team, but nonetheless, 85 speed, 86 excel. Again, it's not really about the individual impactfulness of the card. My fourth line is not going to see the ice a lot. I just needed to get the most out of them, and 8 AP points is going to do the trick. Now, on to defense. After playing a ton of ranked games during early access, it was evident that defense is pretty tough in this game. You aren't able to poke-check, and you really can't stick-check either. So you're left with basically being in position to intercept passes or going for hits. So I decided that I wanted to invest a lot in my defense. So, off the top, one of the first cards you should chase after, in my opinion, is one of the 85 overall captains. They give a massive boost to AP. So I went with Miro Heiskanen, and Heiskanen feels different. 92 speed, I have the +1 boost with Zubov, so up to 93. He just feels different, especially with wheels activated. Send It is a really good ability as well. He's got great defensive awareness now at 89 overall, so he's able to intercept passes. So I've just really liked this card early on. Miro Heiskanen cards always play great, so he was the captain that I went with. Now, the reason why I went with Sergei Zubov was because you get a +1 boost pairing a Finn and a Dallas Star, and he was the best one to fit with Miro Heiskanen. I needed a right-handed defenseman. He gets up to 86 speed, 88 excel, good defensive awareness at 87 overall, and just a really well-rounded card. It cost me about 25,000 coins, so it wasn't brutal, and I liked the added benefit of improving Miro Heiskanen. The second pair is one of the most interesting, especially because of the ability to stack lineup combinations. So I was going to go with Zdeno Chara and then finding a Bruin, but after realizing that Rob Blake being a righty, and there are not as many great right-handed defensemen as there are lefties when you consider Paul Coffey and Miro Heiskanen and Quinn Hughes, for example, the Rob Blake combination is great. So, how this was done, when you pair Rob Blake with Brady Shea from the Nashville Predators, you get the +2 overall boost for a Canadian and Nashville Predator, and you also get a +1 overall boost for a King and a USA-born player, which means that Rob Blake, who is actually quite slow, now gets up to 87 speed, 86 excel, and his body checking touches 90. Defensive awareness is at 92, and he has Elite Rocket, which hasn't been great, but in my tests so far, it's an absolute cannon, and it does activate on skilled up one-timers, so I'm excited to try this online. But Rob Blake's card, when you give him a +3 across the board, is impactful, and I love this combo. Brady Shea as well, at 83 overall, gets up to 88 speed and 88 excel. His defensive awareness is now 85, body checking's 84. For an 80 overall card, he has a 1 million salary cap hit, which is necessary because even my free-to-play team is now getting pretty high in the salary cap. And then my third pair is Brock Faber, who is one of the preseason top-tier cards. 91 speed, 88 excel, good defensive awareness. He has edges and good size. if you pre-ordered the game and got the Fresh Ice Players Pack, Brock Faber was the best selection, and I'm going to try and keep him on the team. And then I paired him with Quinn Hughes, who I was able to get by trading in the NHL 25 Objective Calder Pack to get a discount, and I went with Quinn Hughes. Again, 91 speed and excel, 90 agility, 89 defensive awareness and edges. Even though they're not big, even though they're not gigantic, both of them have 91 speed, so if they get caught out against other teams' third lines, I can just go end-to-end with both of these. Really excited to try out this pair as well. And then in net, I've got the 82 Thatcher Demko by upgrading him 2 tiers with the XP Path tokens. Gotta be honest with you, played a few ranked season games with him, and he was absolutely abysmal. One of the worst goaltenders I've ever used. But I threw him in again, and I started playing some cup chase runs on Superstar, and I've regained a little bit of confidence in him. I'm not married to my goaltender situation, but I just think he's the best one available. And then my backup, you want to look for something that pairs well for ability points or salary cap relief. But if you don't have anything, just find the lowest overall so that the cap hit isn't very high. Your starter goalie is going to be one of the cheapest that you can put in your lineup. So I would not trade in your starter goalie into that one very low pack in exchange sets. I would just hold on to it because if you don't have anything that boosts any lineup combinations, that's important. So I went with my starter goalie, Abby Levy. So now let's go over what cards I'm chasing after now and what I want to focus on going forward. Now, when it comes to the Check My Game event, I am going to be making a Master Set player item. However, the first 5 that were released, they're all good, especially Jack Eichel. He is probably the most impactful card from this release. He always feels different in game, but I'm actually going to hold all of my resources for this event because we actually found out who was coming in week 2. It turns out that David Pastrnak is going to be one of the Check My Game Master Set player items. It was accidentally released via EA in their blog for the event. So it sucks when leaks happen, but in this case, it's nice to know. So I'm going to save my resources so that I can make David Pasternak's week 2 Check My Game player item. And the reason why I'm going to make him is because if you pair a Czech-born player with an Avalanche and someone from Sweden, you can get a +2 overall boost. So it just so happens that I made Marcus Naslund, who will go up to my first line. And if you pair Pasta and Naslund with Joe Sakic, he gets a +2 overall boost to all of his stats. So Joe Sakic will be the next icon that I chase after. At 91 speed and 92 excel, his endurance is a little low at 79, but I think that his skating, the fact that he's going to have 89 faceoffs and elite quick release makes up for that. He also has one of the best shots in the game, which would be at 95 overall if you pair them with those two. So those are the 2 cards I'm going to add next, Joe Sakic and the week 2 Check My Game, David Pastrnak. Let's talk about how I'm going to acquire those cards. So if you've been watching my stream, I've essentially just been playing Cup Chase the last 2 days since the worldwide release. I've just been doing Superstar Cup Chase runs, and the reason for that is because the rewards at the end, if you win on Superstar, are guaranteed 82 overall player items, which are necessary to make a Check My Game Master Set player item. You need at least 2 from any release on top of the 3 from the event specifically. If you pull anything better like I have, where I pulled Rupe Hintz, I actually sold him for 25,000 coins to work towards some other things. Now, if you haven't watched my Cup Chase video, going over exactly what you should be doing if you wanted to get the best rewards and start making some of these top-end cards, essentially all you need to do is get to 11 to 12 wins in Cup Chase, and all you have to do is make the playoffs. So once you've hit that tier, you can start quitting out of games to speed through Cup Chase, and then once you've made the playoffs, you just have to win the 4 games in the minimum amount of time, and that will give you the final rewards. On top of that, you're earning Cup Chase collectibles, which you can then throw in the Gold Crown pack. This 30 collectible pack is going to give you another 82 overall guaranteed. It is better than the Gold Choice Players pack because this is a choice pack, 1 of 4, 79 and above. So you're only guaranteed a 79 and above player. You could get 3 79s and an 80, as opposed to 30, which is 5 less, and you're getting at least an 82, which can be used in those other sets to make some of the top-end cards. So the 100 collectibles that you get throughout the season, I'm just doing this pack as many times as I can. Now, when it comes to the XP path, I'm already on tier 12. I want to talk about the collectibles and which packs I think that you should go after. When it comes to the XP Season 1 sets, I'm saving all of my collectibles for this 81 plus overall player item Again, just trying to minimize risk. So an 82 overall and above is going to be awesome. It's tradable. If you get an 81, you can still sell it. But for 30 collectibles, if you look at all the other sets, like the 77 and above for 8, or even the 79 and above for 15, there's a really big risk that you pull the bare minimum and you've lost a ton of collectibles. I've already done this and the rewards just aren't worth it. The other one that's brought up a lot is the Season 1 Elite Pack for 20. This is basically just filled with 77 and 76 overall players. You might pull something, but it looks like the odds are extremely low. So I'm just trying to minimize risk, and I'm going to go with the 81 and above set. So in the next episode, we're going to take this team into ranked for the first time. Super excited with all the lineup combinations. It's been a blast putting the team together. Let me know what your best line combination is down below. I'll see you next episode. Have a good one.